Yeah, Rod, we're talking about winter injuries, the most common ones in terms of what is sending people to seek treatment. We want to get some answers from Dr. Andy Barnett, Legacy Go Health Urgent Care. And we look at the snow there, Andy, and so many of these injuries happen with skiing and snowboarding. What are the most common ones you see at Urgent Care?
That's a good question, Kathy. So during the snow season, the snow sports season, there are three main activities that people get injured doing: skiing, snowboarding, and sledding. We do see a little bit from skating as well. The problem is that these are slippery surfaces and people tend to fall hard on them. So the kinds of injuries we see either come from impact, so landing on the ground hard, and by far and away the most important thing that people can do is to wear a helmet. Concussions and head injuries can be really serious. They can happen in the blink of an eye. And sometimes it's not even your fault. You're collided with by somebody.
That's the thing. You could say, well, I don't ski fast enough to give myself a head injury, but if somebody's bombing down the hill behind you and they clip you, then you are going fast enough for that. As far as leg injuries you see, is it knee, ankle? What are the problems?
The most common type of lower extremity injury that we see is actually to the knee. When skiing or even snowboarding, people tend to have on quite heavy boots. For skiing, the boots are really protective of the ankles and feet. Unfortunately, the knee is not well protected. And so in skiers and snowboarders, we can see really serious knee injuries related to the twisting motion that can happen. Torn ACL ligaments are pretty common, unfortunately, during the ski season, and it can be a really serious injury, often requiring surgery.
Yeah, do those injuries have to do with speed so much or just the way you land?
No, I've seen it myself. A person really almost at a standstill who tries to turn, and the ski stays put and the body turns, can result in torn ligaments in the knee.
That can have to do with the type of snow that you have in a given day. If it's heavy and wet and it's holding your ski down. As far as being prepared before you go out and take on the winter sports, is there anything you can do key to injury prevention?
Well, just being in generally good physical shape. So engaging in an exercise regimen that gets you good lower extremity strength, flexibility, stretching before you go out is really important, and making sure that you have the right gear and are engaging at a level that's appropriate for you. So if you're brand new to this and you see a black diamond, stay away from it.
That's a good tip there. Hey, wondering too, you know, not only on the mountain, but at home, you have to worry about slips and falls as surfaces get slick.
Yeah, slips and falls happen a lot, unfortunately. As the weather gets colder, if it's cold enough that a layer of ice forms on the surface of where you're walking, it can be really dangerous. We see some pretty serious injuries related to that. The most important thing you can do there is to have good footwear, so something that's got a good grip or a tread that can handle snow or ice, and then to make sure that any walking surfaces that you have control over are appropriately de-iced or salted in those coldest of days.
No, they now even have, you know, things that you can clip onto your shoe that protect you. That would be a great gift for somebody to say, I love you, don't you think?
Sure would.
Anything else in terms of winter months and avoiding injuries you'd like to add?
The final message that I want to get out there is that it's important not to be exposed to cold-related injuries. We did see during some of the really cold days last winter some cold exposure injuries, and that can be things like frostbite. In some cases, if people are spending a lot of time outdoors, they can get really sick if they get too cold or become hypothermic. The two keys there are to stay dry, so being wet outside in the really cold weather causes your body to lose heat really fast. The second thing is to avoid alcohol if you're going to be outside in the cold. It really lowers the body's ability to adapt.
And was my mom right about wearing a hat?
She sure was.
Okay.
Most of our heat is lost through our head, so wearing a warm hat will make a big difference.
Okay, another great gift to say I love you this holiday season. Dr. Andy Barnett with Legacy Go Health Urgent Care. Nice to have you stop by. Always enjoy seeing you.
Thanks, pleasure.
Portland Today continues just after this.